Oh yeah. You know what time it is. It's been... how many years since this game first came onto my radar? Really... with it first coming onto my radar, hearing that the team at Lemniska were working on translating it. I think this went through crowdfunding for the translation project. It was... I want to say it was Kickstarted, but it's been quite a while. But alas, it's finally here. We're finally gonna get to it. Root Double, Before Crime, After Days, Extend Edition. Heck, this version came out in, want to say... it's a few years ago now. It's been in my Steam library ever since. Just waiting for the right day, the right time to get around to it. Let us begin. Ooh. Let's see. Before, after. So, we defaulted to after, so we have 9 souls trapped in Labo. They attempt to escape the facility in the face of that hopeless situation. However, reality sneers at those struggling to survive. At the limits of fatigue and anxiety, and death looming over them, something lurks in their hearts. Is it the courage to never give up? Or can they cleave a path to the future with their own hands? So, route after? Perspective Watase Kasasagi? Story date 9/16/2030. Those are our endings, wow. Route before. A certain accident traps children in Labo, a nuclear research facility. It is then that the boy is caught up in a mysterious phenomenon. He finds himself recalling the past as if he were reliving it. A strange phenomenon indeed. He soon watches once again as a trivial incident causes his peaceful days to collapse. What awaits him at the end is a shocking, cruel truth. Can the past be rewritten? Okay, so this in theory takes place... yeah, this is in fact before. This in theory takes place 6 days before this route. So, I feel like the obvious choice is to begin with after. That's the first one presented to us. That feels like the main meat and potatoes scenario here. I say that feels like, but because everything I might have known about the setting and scenario and plot, which was very little to begin with, I have most certainly forgotten by now, just for how long this has been sitting in my Steam library untouched. So, recommended play order, I assume, is starting here. So, let us begin.
彼らは捕虜が集められるように牢に集められ、獄に閉じ込められる多くの日が経った後、彼らは罰せられる旧約聖書イザヤ書24章22節。
Ooh, wow. The roar echoed through the laboratory at daybreak, as if it were a bell heralding the end.
何の音だ?
What's that sound?
わかりません。第一エリアの方から。
Oh no, give me Area 1.
確認を早く。あ、いけません。増幅中にゲートを開けては。
During the amplification. Uh-oh.
ただいま地下1階第1エリアで激しい振動を感知しました。
Oh. The roars didn't stop there.
ただいま地下2階第3エリアで激しい振動を感知しました。
Uh-oh. Loud noises and violent shaking continued to echo through the facility. Oh boy.
ただいま地下1階第2エリアで火災が発生しました。
Followed immediately by shockwaves and the sound of screaming.
ただいま地下2階第2エリアで激しい振動を感知しました。
Well, time to go back to the memory repository and try this again. So whatever happened, we failed hard. Oh. Was a soul in that place who yet understood what had happened here? A clear voice echoed amongst all the confusion and cacophony.
緊急放送です。ただいま施設内で原因不明の爆発が発生しました。
That voice that announced the destruction was but a fragment of the truth. September 16th, 2030, 6:19 a.m. The 6th Laboratory of Atomic and Biological Organization, a scientific research facility located on the outskirts of exploded.
施設内のセキュリティを避難モードに移行。N エリアを除く全ゲートを開放します。職員の皆様は落ち着いて地上へ避難してください。
Oh. The automatic PA screamed out warnings as if it had broken. It was an accident that should have been impossible.
消火システムが作動しない。
Oh, sprinkler system's not working.
なぜだ。くそ。署員の避難を急がせろ。
Evan had begun ranting madly, caught up in the chaos surrounding them.
非常階段が崩れ落ちただと。
Oh.
エレベーターもすべて停止しています。避難の術がありません。
No staircases, no elevators.
なんでそんなことに。とにかく避難を急いで。
Then a calm voice rose as if to quell the pandemonium.
みんな落ち着きなさい。
Oh.
博士。
Professor.
忘れたの？有事の際には即座に所轄の消防署に通報が届くシステムになっていることを。ものの数分で救助隊が到着するはずよ。
数分でそんな早すぎる。
彼らは通常の消防隊員ではないもの。
Special Ops
特
firefighters.
別高度救助隊シリウス。我が市が誇るレスキュー隊の精鋭たちよ。
Oh shit. (6:26 a.m.) Rescue squad arrived at the scene.
隊長、A チーム全員揃いました。
Team A, radio in. Whoa! A row of rescue workers wearing protection suits stood before a man garbed in the same outfit.
よし、全員そのまま聞け。現在このラボの中には無数の人が取り残されている。そして施設の性質上、これは通常の出場ではない。この現状では何が起こるかわからない。どんな不測の事態もだ。
Oh. Classification. Oh. Oh, when firefighters are sent to a fire with a disaster, it is called a dispatch. Industry term. Actual location of the fire is called fire scene. A young woman who appeared to be fairly new to the team gulped behind her faceplate. Captain looked at her and continued.
俺たちの任務は人を救助すること。いつもそうだったように、今日もそれは変わらない。だがお前たちはレスキュー隊員である前に人間だ。お前たちが生還すれば、それだけで1名の命を救ったことになる。以上に留意し、救助活動に従事しろ。それでは幸運を祈る。
Right. Let's do it. With that shout, they rushed into the facility, all while having no idea what awaited them there. Thus, the dispatch that would later come to be known as Sirius's longest day had begun.
立花は森部と堂島は檜山とツーマンセルだ。
Alright, Tachibana with Moribe, Nojima with Hayama.
B チームとの連絡を欠かすな。連携を常に取り続けろ。
They all had the same conviction. To accomplish the mission they'd been handed by whatever means necessary. However, what they found lurking there far exceeded their imagination. Countless unexpected complications kept arising one after another.
モリベ、地下にまだ人が。
Oh.
行こう、副隊長。
Moribe's the one who's not having a good time. Oh.
時間がありません。急いで。
わかった。そこで待ってろ。
繋がらない。
Oh. You get through to him.
おかしいです。隊長に何が。
ここが N エリアか。
Area N.
この先に例の2人が閉じ込められてるって言うんですか。
そうさ。だから行こう。
So, folks downstairs in the fire can't get through to us up to an Area N.
あの時、俺たちは誰も救えなかった。その贖罪をする時がようやく来たんだよ。
Oh boy, there's a lot going on here. And that determination can't be crushed.
バカな。誰もいないだって。
Oh.
騙されたのか。俺たちは。
なぜ誰に。
Oh shit.
どうしてこんなことに。
What the hell?
悔やむなお前ら。今は後悔する時じゃない。まだ任務は続いているんだ。
ただいま係数エラーが発生しました。緊急事態につきセキュリティを通常モードに移行。
What?
地上に続く全隔壁を閉鎖します。
Case N.
俺がその子を探しに行く。
バカ、一人でか。
行くしかないだろ。お前たちは後を頼む。20分待って戻らなかったら俺を置いていけ。
Alright. Swallowed his regret and ran. What am I looking for here? Was a map option? Oh wow. Oh, they gave me an achievement. In order to stick true to his convictions. Okay, there we go. Whoa.
あなた。
Hello.
レスキュー隊だ。君たちを救助に来た。
Thus he found a lone girl, and then...
間に合うか。まだあいつらはいるはずだ。
Gave him 20 minutes before they left.
きっとこの先に。
He endured the pain and kept on walking. And then at the end of his mission... Uh-oh. Came face to face with a monster. Whoa. What? Monster took hold of his wrist. Huh. Monster looked at him and laughed. Man spotted a broken wristwatch out of the corner of his eye. That moment, just as an indescribable fear sent shivers down his spine. He was assaulted by an intense pain akin to his brain being crushed. Man screamed, faced with an agony unlike anything he had ever felt before. He struggled to understand the source of the pain amidst the confusion engulfing him. Was... What? His well-toned body proved helpless in the face of that power. You damn monster! In spite of that, he struggled against it, attempting to complete his mission. Nevertheless... Oh, jeez. His will broke as the overwhelming pain surged through his head once more. He staggered backwards, clutching his head. Monster's face warped sinisterly, its gaze piercing right through him. He then fled without looking back. If he'd stood his ground, he'd be killed, annihilated. And so he held his throbbing head as he ran for his life. What the hell? I have to get away, as far away as possible. He had to retreat to a place where the monster's power couldn't reach him. It was all for naught. Whoa! Everything in front of him flashed as he felt an agony like that of his head exploding. That was the last thing he felt. Then, as if someone had flipped a switch, his consciousness faded into darkness. Eventually, far past that frozen time, did say something about not opening the doors in that area in particular. Awake, a voice called to him. Perhaps it was merely a memory of such a voice. He heard that voice as he lay beneath the whitewashed tomb. Then time began to move. His consciousness was in an endless darkness, a world where everything was closed off. Sight, hearing, touch, smell, taste had been disconnected from all his senses. It didn't feel like there was a world around for him to experience at all. Where am I? He didn't know. His head was a total blank. What is this? He could sense was a feeling of loss. What's going on? Felt like he was lacking anything definitive. How did this happen? Desperately tried to figure out why. Soon enough, fragmented images twinkled in the corners of his mind. See. So that thing attacked me. Is this death? No. The sound of a beating heart echoed inside him. He knew for sure he could perceive that. This guy is... No, not this guy. I'm... alive. Sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, pain. I have all those senses. Eight, oh fuck, ow! Body and consciousness are right here. Right here. The sound of those voices suddenly filling his ears. Man opened his eyes. Oh?
気がついたのですね。よかった。死んでるかと思ったよ。
Man said nothing as the woman before him started addressing him.
っていうか隊長、なんでこんなところにいるのさ。式場にいるはずじゃ。それより、ご自分の名前を言えますか。今日が何月何日かは。
Man already felt confused in the face of the sudden storm of questions he'd been sucked into. First tried to grasp the situation around him. The women in front of him were wearing orange uniforms. So they're firefighters. No, rescue workers. The uniforms were covered in soot. Disaster, accident, rescue. Vague images related to those words swirled around the man's mind.
君らは、ここは。
まだ起き上がらない方が。
I may be mistaken, but it feels like his voice actor changed. Which slightly. Which makes me feel like something fundamentally changed when we ran into that mystery person and blanked out. The man ignored her warnings and sat up, then checked his surroundings. He was in some building he'd never seen before. He'd apparently been lying in the middle of a hall. icy cold steel doors and fire hydrants lining the corridor. Glance up at the ceiling revealed air ducts, sprinklers, and so... Oh, that. A sharp headache hit the man at that moment, causing him to fall to the floor yet again.
大丈夫？痛むの？
いや、大丈夫だ。
Maybe not. Maybe I was wrong about that. But as then, the man realized he was wearing the same uniform as the women. Why am I wearing this thing? Still feels like something weird happened in that moment. Whether our memories got wiped or something else. Felt a strange sense of discomfort. Like he had no connection with himself. Why was he in this uniform?
俺は一体
The man stood up as he shook his groggy head. His body also felt off. Almost like his body and mind weren't properly linked. Kind of feels like this isn't my body or something. No sooner had this thought crossed the man's mind, then did the air suddenly shake. Oh fuck.
なんだ
What was that? The woman paid no heed to the man's confusion and instead exchanged glances.
また爆発。火が出てるかも。行こう、副隊長。
Oh,
ええ。隊長はそこで休んでいてください。私たちだけで行ってきます。
there they go. The woman who'd been called lieutenant broke off into a run alongside the other woman, who was apparently her subordinate.
ちょっと
Scared of being left alone and totally in the dark about what was going on, the man followed the two. He called out to them as he started closing the distance.
待ってくれ君たち
隊長、休んでいてと申し上げましたのに。いや、大丈夫そうだよ。だったら手伝ってもらおうよ。
Oh shit. Well,
そうじゃない教えてもらいたいだけなんださっきの音は何だ何が起きてるんだ
何言ってんの隊長。どういう状況か分かってないの？
yeah. The women looked at each other for a brief second.
来れば分かります。我々についてきてください。
Well, fair enough. The lieutenant broke off into another run at those words, with the man hot on your trail. Then opened a door at the end of the hall, sending intense heat surging out of it. Oh boy. What is this heat? Heat haze filled the area, distorting their vision of what was before them.
早く消火せねば。また爆発が起こる前にね。
The woman passed through the open doorway. The man followed suit and ran through the hallway, only to be greeted with hellfire. The man froze in shock at the scene he was confronted with. The woman quickly got to work without even a moment's hesitation.
消火ホースの用意を。了解。ちょっと隊長どいて。
Oh, whoa. The female rescue worker pushed the man aside and pulled out a hose from a fire hydrant built into the nearby wall. Then passed it to the lieutenant, directed its nozzle towards the flames.
放水開始。了解。放水行きます。
Here it comes. Ooh! A jet stream of water collided with the flames, which erupted into large clouds of steam. Incredible. This fire's getting smaller and smaller by the second. The man stared at the swiftly dying fire with stark amazement. Just then he heard something else mixed in with the sound of the flames evaporating. A faint sound. One. Was that a voice? I wondered if it was his mind playing tricks on him for a second. As soon as he strained his ears. Oh. He definitely heard what sounded like a young girl's voice coming from the room in front of him.
あの部屋誰かいる
Man's body started running as soon as the thought hit him, weaving his way through the gaps between the flames. His door was crushed inwards due to the effects of the explosion. Man peeked into the room from the shadow of the broken door. Oh boy! Discovered a world of fire and smoke! Where is it? Where's that voice coming from? His hair was singed by the sparks bathing him, creating an awful stench that hung in the air. What's more, his eyes were tearing up thanks to the smoke irritating them. But he endured it and focused on searching the room. Oh? Found her! The fire and flames, you could see a girl crouching under a desk in the room. Do I look okay? The girl looked toward the man's voice with hope in her eyes. And when her gaze met the man's... Oh! Her face froze. What? What's with that look? Come with confusion, he came to a halt. That at that moment... Eh? Don't stop! What? He suddenly heard a voice. He didn't know whose voice it was. It sounded like it echoed from inside him. Was that the original captain? Though when he heard it, everything suddenly fell into place. He finally realized why he was here. That's right. He came here to save her. When he came to that realization, his previously divided body and nerves seemed to finally become one. Flames were closing in on the girl. The voice resounded yet again in his mind. With that command giving him the final push he needed, the man lunged into the blazing flames. We apologize for interrupting you so early on, but there are no choices in this world. Oh? Regardless, we need your power to link this world to the future. Senses Sympathy System has been prepared in order to allow you to willingly influence the world. Oh. This tutorial will explain the SSS to you. Before that, let's explain what we mean by senses here. Senses refer to impressions, emotions, sensations in this context. Put it simply, it's your assessment of how you feel about someone else. In other words, if their senses are high, you have a good impression of that person. On the other hand, if their senses are low, that means you have a bad impression of that person. The Senses Sympathy System exists to quantify your senses and reflect them on this world. Now then, let's explain how to change the value of your senses. Whoa. In specific scenes, a graphic that looks like a magic seal will appear in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. This is known as an enneagram. Oh! An enneagram is a kind of personality assessor that characterizes people into 9 different personality types. Each of the 9 main characters of this story have been categorized into these 9 types. Oh! Well, that's handy. Thus, the 9 characters have been distributed onto the 9 points of the enneagram. A graph similar to a radar chart is displayed on top of the enneagram. This graph is a symbol that represents senses. The shape of the graph corresponds to the 9 characters, and its shape will change as you alter their senses. You can input the senses of 9 characters, which includes the protagonist. Thus, in a sense, you may also set the senses you have for yourself. In such an instance, you determine whether or not you have confidence in your instincts and opinions. Oh. Alternatively, you determine how much you value yourself. That's going to come into importance, isn't it? Since, given the situation, if we don't value our own life, there's very good of it. I foresee very much the chance of us with low sense running into a fire and dying to save someone. Senses Sympathy System. Truly a system where you determine the protagonist's various senses each time. Your senses will be used to determine which scenario divergence you will travel down at fixed divergence points. At divergence points, the story automatically diverges in accordance to the level of your senses. You can't simply input your senses whenever you want. You can only do that at sections known as branches. When you arrive at a branch, the enneagram will appear in the upper right-hand corner. Please check if the enneagram is displaying or not to determine when you can and can't input your senses. Allow us to explain in detail through example. Let's play a demo scenario branch while you actually control the system. First, please take a look at the next scene. Senses input hasn't appeared yet, so please just play through the text as you normally would. Alright. In a certain boy's house. TV and a game console were sitting in a neat and tidy living room. Just then, a girl came down from the hallway and spoke in an inquisitive voice.
ねえねえ、何しているの？ゲームの練習？
Yeah, I am.
とても大切なことなの？
Seems important.
そっか。じゃあ忙しいんだね。
I mean,
ちょっとお話ししたいことがあるんだけど、今はダメだよね。
it can't hurt. Girl looked at you hopefully as she said that.
ごめんなさい。邪魔みたいだから、また今度にするね。
Oh, I'm sorry.
気にしないで。そんな大したことじゃなかったから。それじゃあ、ゲームの練習、頑張ってね。
Oh, thank you. Girl slumped her shoulders with disappointment. Then she left the living room with a lonely step in her gait. This was an example of an occasion where your senses for that girl were low. Now then, let's play that scene one more time, with the goal in this time being to make the girl happy. There'll be a branch this time, so you can input your senses there. When you arrive at a branch, the enneagram will appear in the upper right-hand corner. Please increase your senses for the girl before the enneagram disappears. Okay. When the senses light up, please click it to bring up the senses input screen. Also bring up the input screen by pressing the V button. When you click the senses, you will arrive at this screen. This is the senses input screen. Use the cursor to choose whose senses you would like to change. Bring it to the knob directly below them, then change their senses. Click the decide button to see your values and finish the input process. You can only do a senses input one time per branch. You can't input again if you change your mind after you decided, so please be careful.
ねえねえ、何しているの？ゲームの練習？とても大切なことなの？
Oh, hello. Ready to sympathize. Oh shit. Oh, that's nifty. Minimum friendship. Maximum friendship. This is the girl we were... Sure.
そっか。じゃあ忙しいんだね。ちょっとお話ししたいことがあるんだけど、今はダメだよね。
Girl looked too hopefully as she said that. So you...
お話ししてくれる？いいの？本当に？はーい、ありがとう。
Oh,
今日は七夕っていう日なんだって。
Tanabata.
それでね、短冊に願い事を書くとそれは叶うんだって。
Oh.
だから今から準備しなきゃって思うの。
Girl then started talking happily about the bamboo trees that are set up on Tanabata. Congratulations, you have successfully raised the girl's favor. In this example, the girl had two different reactions, but there may be more than that depending on the situation. Also, there isn't always just one senses target. If there is ever more than one target, then you need to take into consideration. You have to reevaluate your senses for them individually. In these situations, you can input for more than one character. The only ones whose senses you can input are those who are involved with the next branch. Do not alter the senses for an unrelated character. There will occasionally be times when senses hold a greater importance than usual. As such, there are 3 different senses colors, each one corresponding to the importance of the upcoming branch. Blue signifies an event where you can probably influence a target's favor. Blue branch, as it is known, is generally not all that important. You even need to change your senses every time it comes up. All you have to do is change it whenever your impression of the target alters. If you neglect too many blue branches, it could have dire consequences for you farther down the line. Really? Yellow. This generally signifies an event where you can probably influence someone's actions. A yellow branch, as it is known, is generally very important. Expect them to signify big changes, such as changing your destination or a travel partner. They're not dangerous, but it's best that you change your senses to reflect your intentions at these points. And though it's rare, A yellow branch can signify that a branch of grave danger is approaching, so please be careful. Red. This signifies grave danger. Red branch, as it's known, is of the utmost importance. Decide incorrectly, and you will find death lying in wait for you. Keep your eyes peeled to avoid danger, and please check your senses immediately to ensure there are no problems. Also, branches directly related to the story's conclusion will be red. I recommend you exercise cautious judgment there in the same way. This concludes the Senses Sympathy System explanation. Senses will change the situation in various ways. Now then, let us return to the world. Time starts again. A senses input will appear right away. An diagram will be glowing yellow. This indicates that a branch of great danger is coming up. Should you choose wrongly, death may soon claim the man. Please look over the situation calmly and select your senses right away. You are expecting your feelings to have a good effect on this world. Alright, party time. Man screamed this, was about to rush to the flames, but was interrupted by someone grabbing him on the collar. Oh boy, that's us. Challenger. Oh wow, so we already maxed out our senses with the girl in there, based on that tutorial scene. But we have ours. And we have Jun here. I trust you. I am also reckless. It's going to be interesting. Again, this plays into what I was talking about before. Sign of doubt. Minimizing someone's, Alright. Once you heard her say this, the man... Ah, okay. High support with her. Low support for ourselves. Gave that answer instinctively. We felt more at ease leaving it up to her. The female rescue worker quickly brushed the man aside, dashing into the room. Lieutenant pointed the hose upwards. The jet stream shattered apart when it hit the ceiling, scattering into a spray. The female rescue worker then ran into the room, as if clad in that water. What an amazing technique! It's perfect teamwork. The female rescue worker then ran up to the girl through the mist and steam. Ooh! Yoink! Survivor get? And shouted triumphantly. That dramatic rescue had happened in the blink of an eye. A few minutes later, once the roaring inferno had been doused, rescue workers tended to the girl they'd saved. Man stood a short distance away, observing them. In the end, he'd been completely useless, both at putting out the fires and at saving her. So he figured the least he could do was talk to her. Uh-oh. Their frightened look engulfed the girl's face at that moment. I mean, fair.
あ、いや、すまなかった。驚かせちまったみたいだな。だが安心してくれ。俺たちは味方だ。君を助けに来たんだ。多分。
Probably. The girl's body shook with a start upon hearing that.
隊長、どうして多分なんておっしゃるんですか？
そうだよ隊長、さっきからなんか変だよ。
Oh, what a coincidence. I've been feeling weird ever since I woke up.
状況がわからないとか言うし、なんか全然使い物にならないし。
すまん。
After giving a brief apology, the man fired off another question.
ところで、二人に聞きたいことがあるんだが、俺が隊長って呼ばれてるってことは、つまり俺はレスキュー隊かなんかの隊長なんだよな。
はあ？隊長、何言ってんの？
Yeah.
それはどういう意味でしょう？
The man thought hard once he heard their surprised answers. As he'd feared, he couldn't locate any information about himself in his head.
その、実はわからないんだよ。自分が誰で、ここがどこなのか。
Owen's faces twitched at that proclamation.
それはまさか
記憶喪失。
Amnesia. The dark descent. The man mulled over that word. That's what it is? For some illogical reason, the answer no, that's not it suddenly popped into his head. It's more like mind's denying me the right to think about who I am. It was a strange feeling. Since it didn't look like he could explain what happened to him very well, he reluctantly decided to go with their suggestion. It's more like my administrator access to my own memories got revoked.
そう。いわゆる記憶喪失らしい。
またまた冗談やめてよ隊長。
いや、これが冗談ならいいんだが。
ってもしかしてマジなの？
Yep.
お待ちください隊長。頭に怪我などはされてませんか？
怪我？そういえばさっき頭がズキンといたんだが。
やはりどこかに頭を打ちつけた可能性があります。意識や記憶の混濁はおそらくそのせいでしょう。ならば記憶は時間が経てば戻ってくるはずです。
そういうものなのか。
Well, I hope so.
ええ、外傷による逆行性健忘症はほとんどの場合は特に治療をしなくてもやがて自然に症状が消えるそうです。
Good old retrograde amnesia, our old friend. Oh wow, there's a lot here. A defect caused by the disturbance of consciousness due to injury or illness, preventing one from recalling events prior to the disturbance. Encoding, storage, and recall. Loss of the ability to recall information is called a memory lapse. Memory stored in the human mind can be episodic, procedural. Watase appears to have lost not only his episodic memory, but some of his procedural memory as well. In contrast to retrograde amnesia, there's also an anterograde amnesia, which is the loss of the ability to remember new events. Disorder of encoding. Oh. Survivor, people found it alive in need of rescue. Trained to treat survivors like family. Seems to be more important, okay. Lieutenant calmly explained that as she threw around a few technical terms here and there.
じゃあ、これは一時的なものか。
はい。ただ脳が損傷していた場合、健忘症は恒久的になる恐れがあります。さらにそのまま放置すると 脳に障害が残ったり死亡してしまうケースも考えられます。
Oof. That's concerning. Man felt a shudder run through him at these words.
何それ、やばそうじゃん。隊長、頭痛の程度はどうなの？吐き気とかは？
あ、今は全く痛まない。吐き気も特に感じない。
なら安心かな。いや、まだです。隊長、ちょっと失礼します。
Woon grabbed the man by the arm, rolled up his sleeve, and looked at his wrist. He hadn't noticed it until that moment, but he had some kind of wristband-like object wrapped around it.
これは
バイタルチェッカーと言います。装着者の健康状態を自動診断するものです。
Closer look revealed that there were several numerical readings and 5 green lights on the device.
コンディションオールグリーン。脈拍、血圧等に問題なし。完全に健康体ですね。
Alright.
じゃあとりあえず死んじゃうような心配はないかな。
Possibly.
ただ確実な診断ではないので楽観視はできません。後ほど精密検査と治療を受けてください。
Once we get out of here. The female rescue worker's eyes widened as soon as she heard the lieutenant's reply.
あ、やばい。それよりもまず副隊長。
Alright, getting out of here.
お嬢ちゃんに AD を投与しないと。
AD? Lieutenant's face froze at those words.
いけない。私としたことが。
The lieutenant wasted no time in taking something out of her pocket. It was an ampule loaded in a transparent container. The lieutenant turned it towards the girl and spoke.
腕を出してください。いや、打ちたくない。
Eh?
ダメです。投与しなければ危険なんですよ。
The girl turned around and tried to run, but the lieutenant grabbed her before she could. Then rolled up the girl's sleeve without giving her a chance to speak and pushed the tip of the ampule into the girl, injecting her with its contents. Uh-oh. The girl's eyes widened and her body trembled. Feeling rather unnerved by her reaction, the man spoke up.
なんだその薬。
AD と言います。放射線被曝を防ぐ薬です。
Ah. The man felt an ominous echo in those words.
被爆を防ぐ薬だって。
ええ、今回の任務にあたってこの施設の関係者から支給されたものです。
Fair.
我々が生き延びるにはこの薬品の投与は不可欠なのです。
The lieutenant surveyed her surroundings, then continued in a bitter voice.
現在この施設内はくまなく放射線に汚染されていますので。
Oh. That's bad. Bad feeling he'd gotten earlier only intensified with its statement.
ちょっと待ってくれ。放射線とか汚染とか一体どういうことなんだ。ここって何の施設なんだ。
The lieutenant took a good hard look at the bewildered man and followed up with a clear answer.
研究用の小型原子炉を要する原子力科学研究所です。
Simple enough.
その原子炉がつい2時間ほど前メルトダウンしたのです。
That was supposedly his first time hearing that word. Still managed to send shivers down the man's spine.
メルトダウンって。
簡潔にご説明しますと、何らかの原因で原子炉が融解し、炉内の核燃料が外に漏れ出すことです。しばしば爆発や出火などを伴う極めて重篤な事故。それにより人体に悪影響の強い放射線が拡散し、施設全域を汚染しつつあるのです。
バカな。汚染って言ったってそんな兆しはどこにも。
放射線は目には見えません。匂いもありません。しかしそれでも確かに人体を蝕みます。
The lieutenant then took some sort of device out of her pocket.
放射線計測器プロキオン。ここに表示されている数値は現在毎時1108ミリシーベルト。
That's a big number.
これは自然界における放射線量の約2000万倍にあたります。
Okay, that's a very big number.
2000万。
放射線は通常の環境下でも 宇宙や地表などからわずかに照射されていますが、線量が弱いため人体に影響はほぼありません。しかしこの1108ミリシーベルトという異常に強い線量にさらされた場合、つまり被爆した場合、人体に深刻な悪影響が現れます。皮膚のただれ、嘔吐感、臓器不全、脳細胞損傷、視力障害、神経障害、遺伝子障害、そしてがん。
Lieutenant's matter-of-fact explanation caused all the hair on the man's body to stick up on their ends in fear.
100ミリシーベルトに被爆すれば、これらの健康被害が発生し得ます。そう考えると、現在の線量はあまりにも強すぎる。
You think?
本来であれば、わずかに立ち入ることすら絶対に許されないような環境なのです。そして線量は場所によって多少上下しますが、どこにいても被爆は避けられません。
避けられないって冗談だろ。なんでそんな状況で落ち着いてられるんだよ。
お待ちください。説明を最後まで聞いてください。
Alright. Man instantly shut up at the lieutenant's firm voice. She gestured to the empty ampule in her hand and continued.
しかし、
Oh
この
shit.
AD という薬を投与しておけば、汚染レベルの低いところならほぼ 100% 被爆を予防してくれるのです。
Oh boy. This is a surprisingly difficult decision. Okay.
100%。
これは通常の薬剤ではなく、医療用ナノマシンを構成体に含んでいて、人体が受ける放射線を無害化、排出してくれます。
Ah, nanomachines.
有効時間はわずか60分ですし、本数もあまりありませんが。
Colonel. On hearing her whole explanation, the man chose to trust her. Ah, okay.
そうなのか。
What could go wrong? Everything he's just heard just felt so utterly unrealistic. Given how the lieutenant had said all of it with a straight face, it was probably true. He suddenly felt a chill run through him.
なあ、それ俺たちは撃たなくて大丈夫なのか。
我々は先ほど投与したばかりですが。
The lieutenant and her subordinate gasped.
そういえば隊長が最後に AD を投与したのっていつ？
Oh, do you really think I know that right now? I don't know.
やばいよ、念のため投与しておきなよ。隊長もきっと持ってるはずだからさ。
And frantically searched his pockets and quickly found an ampule in one of them.
あったぞ。
使い方は簡単だよ。専用のカートリッジが付属してるから、それを装着して、
Glug, glug,
あと
glug.
は先端を折って静脈に密着させて、ノック部分を押すだけでいいから。
こうか。
Urged on by the woman, man loaded the ampule into the cartridge. Once he injected it, the fluid in the container entered his body, accompanied by the slight prickling pain that came with the shot. And at that moment, he felt like something had faded from his head. Eh? What's this feeling? Is it a side effect of the drug?
どうしたの隊長？これで一安心なのに。
一安心。
The idea of feeling safe in this situation was totally insane to the man. No way in hell I could accept a messed up situation like this so easily. He decided to try asking a question in an attempt to keep himself from worrying.
なあ、教えてくれないか。俺は何者で、今はどういう状況なんだ。
I wonder if taking the drug had some kind of effect on the situation going on in our head. The extra voice of the old captain. Which, that's the working theory I'm going with right now. Something happened when we entered that room. and fought with our shadow, or whatnot. And now someone else got piped into the captain's body. The captain's still in here somewhere, but shenanigans.
それとそう、出口だ。この施設の出口はどこにあるんだ？
Lieutenant and her subordinate exchanged glances upon hearing his chain of questions.
出口か。ではこれからそこにお連れしましょう。歩きながら現況をご説明します。
Their words seemed to carry a heavy weight to them.
ああ、よろしく頼む。
了解しました。隊長もお嬢さんもこちらへどうぞ。
The lieutenant started walking. The rest of the group soon followed after her. The group, led by the lieutenant, approached what appeared to be a connecting passageway. It was blocked by a metal door, but that opened once the lieutenant had operated a nearby terminal. On the other side was another block that looked like it belonged in an office building. This place is huge. I'm just curious. We just don't know where our map is. What is this?
そうですか。
Oh shit. It jumped us back to the beginning of the branch. Oops. Well, I learned things there. Anyways. That must be literally a quick jump to the next branch available. Fortunately, we don't have any context for that, so we'll just keep going. Then the lieutenant turned to the man and spoke.
隊長のパーソナリティと現状のどちらを先に知りたいですか？
ああ、パーソナリティから頼む。
わかりました。まず隊長のお名前ですが、笠崎渡瀬と言います。
笠崎渡瀬。それが俺の名前か。
The man, no, Watase. Listen to the lieutenant list off the facts about him with a strange feeling in his heart.
年齢は32歳、独身。6名士消防局特別高度救助隊シリウス所属のいわゆるレスキュー隊員。階級は消防司令補。そして私たちの隊の隊長、つまり直属の上司になります。ここまでで何か思い出せることはありますか？
いや、何も思い出せない。
そうですか。
Alright, what do we got here? We got no reason not to trust them, but... Sure. I see.
ところで、君たちの名前は？
申し遅れました。私は橘風見消防士長。
Tachibana Kasumi. Well,
あ
Kasumi?
なたの下で
Fire
スタッフを
Sergeant?
務めさせていただいております。
Watase carved this information into his memory. Whoop. Oh, so if we lowered that, would it have, carved a negative impression of them into his memory? Kazumi Tachibana, my lieutenant, huh? Seems like the cool and collected type, if you ask me. The one named Kazumi appeared to be strict, both towards herself and others.
風見さんと呼べばいいのかな？
Eh?
いえ、橘とお呼びください。継承等は不要です。
Watase nodded. Just then the other rescue worker spoke up.
で、私が森部純、消防士、20歳。今年入りたての新人隊員。
Ah, yes. Moribe.
異名はシリウスの女特攻隊長。キャッチフレーズはカンと書いて純と読む。以後よろしく。
Nicknamed Serious Lady Suicide Squad Chief. That's that's not a good thing. Jun's my name, rescue's my game. Let's get along, okay? Okay. She felt like the complete opposite of Kasumi. Jun Moribe, team's newest recruit, huh? She sure is a bright bundle of energy. seemed to have a fierce will and a cheerful and friendly personality. She didn't appear to be very conscious of the hierarchy of the group. Perhaps because she was a lot younger than her superiors.
主張が失礼なのはどうかお許しください。何度言っても是正されないのです。
And I'm not surprised.
私も普段は気をつけてはいるんだけどさ、現状に出るとついつい気性も口調も荒くなっちゃってね。
Yeah.
ああ、別に構わんよ。むしろ親しみやすいくらいだ。
やった、今日の体調ってば話がわかるね。
Well, it looks like she's got the skills to make up for it. Yeah, that's true. That's what matters. Good energy when put into the right places. Fighting fires. You have to have nerves of steel to stay so cheerful in a situation like this. Bit of bright light, positivity, always good. Watase then turned to the last member of the party as the thought crossed his mind.
それで、そっちのお嬢ちゃんの名前は？
Oh. The girl hid herself behind Jun as soon as Watase asked.
あらら隊長、ずいぶん嫌われちゃって。そんじゃあお嬢ちゃん、私にお名前教えてよ。
Ooh.
え？
Yuri. The girl only gave her first name.
ゆりちゃんか。かわいい名前だね。よろしく。
Yuri. Think about that name bugged Watase. Feels like I've heard that name somewhere before. In the tutorial. No matter how much he studied her face or searched her memories, he couldn't remember anything solid. So he decided to give up and turn his attention back to Kazumi.
じゃあ自己紹介も終わったことだし、次にここで何が起きているのか教えてくれるか？
了解しました。それではまずこの施設についてですが。
Kazumi then quietly began to speak.
ここは六名市という町の郊外にある原子力研究所の中になります。
Rokume City. On the outskirts of Rokume City.
原子力研究所というと？
詳しいことは私にも分かりませんが、要するに原子力に関わる各種研究を行う施設のようです。
Clearly.
施設名は原子力生物学機構第6研究所、通称ラボ。
Good old Labo?
地上2階、地下2階建ての建物で、地下に研究用の原子炉がありました。
2 floors and 2 underground floors, the latter hosting a nuclear reactor.
そして本日、2030年9月16日午前6時19分。その地下で原因不明の爆発が起きました。同時に各所で火災が発生し、それにより施設の制御システムの一部に障害が生じました。
Explosions near the nuclear reactor. Fires breaking out. Control system malfunction.
このままでは原子炉の冷却機能にも障害が及ぶ恐れがあり、メルトダウン発生の可能性も出てきたため、その手の災害対策の訓練も受けている我々シリウスに救助要請が入りました。そして6時26分、我々は現場に到着。要救助者の捜索を開始しました。
Watase looked at the sturdy watch around his wrist. Its digital display read 9:27 a.m.
およそ3時間前か。
That was about 3 hours ago, huh? Yeah, it seems like it.
現場に突入したのはそれぞれ5名からなる A と B の2チーム。我々は A チームです。隊長は地上1階に前線基地を設置し、そこから A チームを指揮していました。A チームは私と森部、それに堂島と檜山という隊員が組んで2名2組で行動していました。しかしその後、堂島檜山組との無線連絡が断絶。ついで隊長との連絡も断絶しました。
We were being there, Dojima Hayama and the captain. Captain ran off. Found Yuri. Ran into someone weird in the reactor room, or whatever that room was. ran away for his life, passed out, woke up. Here we are.
これが6時35分頃のことです。
何があったんだ。
この時、隊長たちは地下に降りたのかもしれません。
I think we did.
地下は電波状態が悪く、無線がほぼ使えないようですので。
そうか。でもどうして俺たちは地下に降りたんだろう。
要救助者の捜索のためという可能性があります。ラボ関係者によると、地下部分の避難はすでに終了し、地上部分にのみ要救助者が取り残されているという話だったのですが、
救助活動中に地下にも要救助者がいることが分かってね。それで私と副隊長も地下に降りたんだ。でも地下の火災が予想以上にひどくってさ、私たちが前に進めないでいるうちに要救助者も見失っちゃって。
Thus, we all wound up in the basement.
そこで我々は地下2階に簡易基地を設置して、再び捜索活動を開始したのです。そしてその直後、7時15分頃、
7:15 a.m.
KSN を告げる不穏な警告放送が施設内に流れました。
Case N.
KSN なんだそれは。
It happened after we went into that room and saw those two researchers dead.
おそらくはニュークリア、核を意味する言葉の頭文字だと考えるのが妥当かと思われます。
After that warning went out, things went to shit for
私
us.
たちの業界には N 災害って呼称があるんだよね。その場合だと N は核による災害を意味するのさ。
核か。それに関する警報が鳴ったってことは。
We have no reason not to.
ええ、我々はこの時刻に原子炉エリアでメルトダウンが起きてしまったものと考えています。
We haven't seen enough of the game to press X to doubt yet, so.
放送の後にプロ気温をチェックしたところ、放射線量が異常に上昇していました。なので、おそらく間違いないかと。
つまり KSN っていうのはメルトダウンを指す隠語だろうね。
By the time they'd finished explaining, the group had arrived in Area 2.
だったらできるだけ早くこのお嬢ちゃんを外に出してやらなきゃいけないんじゃないか。
Watase looked towards Yuri. She looked even more scared than she did earlier.
ええ、我々もそう思うのですが。
地上につながる階段はこの第2エリアにあるんだけど。
Kazumi and Jun paused and looked down into the hall. And there was a door with a plate that read Emergency Staircase.
何煮え切らないこと言ってんだよ。出口はあそこだな。行こう、ユーリ。
お待ちください、隊長。
Watase ran towards the door. Kazumi's voice grew fainter and fainter with each step. He ascended the dark staircase. Oh! He saw what awaited him at the top. Watase found himself rendered speechless.
なんだこれは。
We locked in. An iron wall was lying just a short distance away from the top of the stairs.
つまり、こういうことなのです。
By the time he came to his senses, Kazumi and the others were standing right behind him.
こういうことって。
実は現在、地上につながるすべての出口にこの隔壁が降りてしまっていて、私たちはこのラボの地下に閉じ込められているのです。
閉じ込められてるだと。どうして。
わかりません。ともかく KSN とやらが発令されると同時に地上に続く全隔壁を封鎖しますという放送が流れました。
This is true.
だからおそらくどこにも出口は。
そんな。外にいる人に連絡して開けてもらうってのは。
連絡ができないんだよ。ラボ内の電話は全部普通になってるし、無線も最初はなんとか使えたんだけど、なぜかどんどん通信状態が悪くなって、今じゃほとんど通じないんだ。
だったら壊すなり無理やり開けるなりすればいいじゃないか。
Probably not a good idea. Watase tried pounding his fist on the bulkhead. Didn't budge an inch.
くそ、開けよちくしょう。
No matter how hard he punched, kicked, or pushed it, nothing changed. It didn't look like something that could be dealt with human hands alone.
こりゃ爆薬でもなきゃどうにもならなそうだな。
残念ながら爆薬なんてないよ。今の私らには破壊不可能さ。
この隔壁のせいで地下と地上が完全に分断されているのです。今
Watase finally understood the situation when he heard Kasumi and Jun's comments. It was a hard pill to swallow.
他に脱出に使えそうな場所は？
皆無です。我々も閉じ込められてから2時間、あらゆることを試しましたが、エアダクトは通行不能、
Oops, sorry, I keep cutting you off.
エレベーターは使用不能、天井は破壊不能です。
しかも本来この施設には完璧な消火システムがあるはずなんだけど、それもなぜか停止してる。そこかしこで火災が起きて出火場所も把握できてないんだ。
なんだよそれ、めちゃくちゃな状況じゃねえか。
Real deep shit.
放射線が蔓延してるとこで火災も起きてて、しかも外には出られないだと。なんでそんなことに。
落ち着いてください。レスキューが取り乱してどうするのですか。
Very true.
そうだよ隊長、ユーリちゃんが余計に怯えちゃうだろ。
With realization hitting him in full force, Watase looked at Yuri. She was hiding behind Jun and looking at him with trembling eyes.
すまない。
Fair point. Kasumi and Jun were right. He couldn't show such disgraceful behavior in front of a frail girl like Yuri. Regardless of his amnesia, Watase had most likely come down to the basement floors in order to rescue people. At that moment, he was hit by a sudden question.
あ、そういや、ユーリはどうしてこのラボにいたんだ？
Oh. Then a tearful look appeared on Yuri's face for some reason.
どうしたんだ？
私はここの職員の家族です。
Oof.
それでたまたま巻き込まれて。
Ow. Bad luck.
それは災難だったな。
Watase turned to his thoughts as he kept looking at Yuri. Really has been a disaster for all of us. If they wish we could all get out of here. They knew it wasn't that simple. In the first place, there was still way too much they didn't know about his current situation. Wouldn't the bulkhead open up? Wasn't the sprinkler system working? Why'd he lost his memories? And...
なあ、立花。俺たちはこれからどうすりゃいいんだ？
それについてもご説明したいと思います。
近くに簡易基地を設営してあるから、まずはそこに移動しよう。
They had no choice but to go along with what she said. So the group's shoulders slumped as they proceeded down the staircase. Oh. Once they had left the staircase behind them, Kasumi walked towards a nearby room and began talking. Actually, I think we're going to do that next time. That was quite a... current AD. Oh my god, but that's a stat we can keep. So that's going to kill us if we don't have our AD. I assume we had one, and we used it by trusting our colleagues here. Interesting. Supposed to pick up before we leave. Firefighter? Oh well. Members of the fire department who dispatch to fire scenes are called firefighters. Extinguishing fires, saving lives. Like to be used as a generic term for all members, it could also be used as a rank. 11 ranks. Fire Chief. Ooh. Highest to lowest. Commissioner of the Fire and Disaster Management Agency. Fire Chief. Chief Fire Superintendent. Senior Fire Superintendent. Fire Superintendent. Battalion Chief. Fire Captain. Fire Lieutenant. Fire Sergeant. Assistant Fire Sergeant. And Firefighter. Oh boy. Police departments are prefectural. Self-Defense Force national. Contrast, fire departments are municipal. Okay, so we're much more local and focused, which makes sense because you kind of need people to respond quickly. Your fire department's independent from a police jurisdiction. They're extremely local. Organized teams. Naturally, must remain alert. Serious, oh my god. Special Elite Rescue Squad. Strict selection tests like that of the Tokyo Fire and Disaster Management Agency, making them true elites. Teams of 6, 5 members and 1 driver, 3 teams total. Watase is the captain for Team A. Except in the rare case where a city with a population as small as 200,000 is assigned a special elite rescue squad. However, it was revised based on the importance placed on the government-designated top-secret cities due to BC law. Sirius refers to the alpha star of Canis Major. Brightest star in the constellation, makes sense. Their stars of hope wear orange jumpsuits. Those stars are the Rokume City Fire Department Special Elite Rescue Squad, Sirius. Hell yeah, cue the anime opening theme. Commander in charge of the current meltdown in response is Battalion Chief Murakami. Watase was sort of the on-scene commander. Establish command and take action. Vital checker. Under the equipment in the shape of wristband. Inspects the wearer's health. Basically takes pulse, respiration rate, blood pressure, temperature. It's a comprehensive 5th signal based on those 4. Into emergency teams, racing against time, makes sense. Strictly for first aid purposes only. Quick evaluation. Oh boy. Okay, natural dosage. No symptoms. Reduction in white blood cell count. Nausea and fatigue. We were at 1180, I believe? Disturbance of consciousness. Yeah, maybe we were getting up to the 3000 level. Which is what happened that wiped us out. Possible. Also, I don't know what those units are. Measuring radiation. They're not a unit I recognize. Millis something. Okay. Radiation damage is said to cause cancer, cardiacs, cataracts, and infertility. Very impossible for running radiation clinical trials. It's, yeah, hard to study. Radiation can damage DNA, but cells are capable of automatic DNA repair. Unless the dosage of radiation is high and happens all at once, the risks of DNA damage can be suppressed. Very important to know. Oh boy. There's a lot to cover here. Alpha rays, beta rays, gamma rays, neutron rays. 1 degrees of penetrating power and effects on the human body. Gamma is the worst. Neutron, beta, alpha. Oh, alpha's the... This is just penetration. It's actually almost the complete reverse. Alpha's the most damaging. But the least likely to penetrate and cause damage. As long as it's not internal. Neutron rays are highly in both categories. Which is why sci-fi writers often prefix the names of fictional weapons with the word neutron. Like Jimmy Neutron. Radiation decays, reducing its danger. Iodine 131, half-life 8 days. Cesium 137, 30 years. Okay, plan appropriately. Geiger counter is not the general term for these devices. That use Geiger-Müller tubes. Other survey meters use scintillators or ionization chambers. Counts the number of radiation events. However, since it only counts the number, not the strength of the events, it cannot measure the amount of radiation energy and tends to overestimate the actual radiation dosage. To account for measurement error. Relatively cheap aimed personal ownership. A scintillation counter measures it based on the pulses of visible light in response to radiation. Calculates radiation dosage by the amount of ions generated from radiation passing through a container of gas. Measuring periodically. Using the more accurate measures, scintillation or ionization chambers. Alone Desire. Or AT for short, that's an interesting name. Anti-radiation drug. Developed by the pharmaceutical company Betelgeuse, new treatments and packaged in ampules. Medical nanomachines. Neutralize and expel. Protecting the user from internal and external exposure. Effect lasts approximately 60 minutes. So if you're exposed once and take this drug, and you're not currently being exposed, you're protected from any adverse effects. But since these folks are constantly being exposed, they have to take it repeatedly, or else they will start to suffer damage. For 2021, not be distributed. Nuclear power research institutes are allowed to use it experimentally. Only nuclear fission could be used to its fullest extent without fear of radiation. Until now, that thought had not been a reality, but merely a desire alone, hence the name Alone Desire. Increased safety nets. Oh hey, millisievert. There we are. 3 indispensable units when dealing with radiation exposure. Becquerels, Grays, and Sieverts. EQ. Amount released in 1 second. GY releases. Measures. Absorbs per kilogram. SV and GY are both units that describe radiation absorption, whereas GY measures absorbed dose. SV measures equivalent dose. It accounts for how much harm the radiation harms a human body. SV measurements are typically given in microsieverts. Millisieverts and sieverts are rarely used. Body heights are typically given in centimeters and body weights in kilograms. Need to use millisieverts or sieverts instead of microsieverts says something of the abnormality of the situation. You wouldn't expect someone to be 100 meters tall or weigh 2,000 kilograms. Millisieverts per hour denotes radiation dose over the span of an hour, which we've seen. Meltdown. When nuclear fuel melts into the base of its pressure vessel container due to errors like cooling system failure. Unless handled properly, radioactive material is at risk of spreading outside, causing an extremely serious nuclear disaster. Or situations to melt through where that nuclear fuel penetrates beyond the pressure vessel container and through subsequent barriers. So meltdown, the bowl is melting, melt out, the bowl has melted, the soup has escaped. Do not drink the soup. Soup will melt you. Pools of spent fuel also have the risk of meltdown if not properly cooled. It's in fact capable of melting. Wow, is that a real thing? Rescue squad. Rescue squad based on the number of squad members. Okay, so you have your own government-assigned rescue squad, but you can also formulate your more experienced squad for more dangerous shit. So sorry for already not reading out everything verbatim, but I mean we got a lot to cover, and already kinda parched. So, that being said, this was our first episode of Route Double. We will continue shortly. Until then.